Hey, it's Kyle here, and today I'll be reviewing Star Wars Shadow of the Sith by Adam Christopher. This book is set in the time period leading up to The Force Awakens. Kind of give you an idea of when the characters are, although she's a minor character in this book, but Rey is in this book as a little kid. I believe she's supposed to be like 5 or 6 in this book, so very young. So it kind of gives you an idea of where this is in relation to The Force Awakens. This book kind of covers two main story arcs. One involves Luke and Lando, and one involves Rey's parents. So I'll touch on Rey's parents part of the storyline first. So one, I did appreciate that part of the book because obviously in the movies, in the new movies, you basically find out in episode 9 what Rey's origins are, and you basically just get a quick little flash shot of her parents before they're being killed, and that's it. We really know nothing else about them. Just the fact that her father was kind of a clone of Emperor Palpatine, and that's really all we know, and that's it. So it was really nice for them to get actually a story arc so you could actually learn more about their characters, what they were like, why they left Rey on Jakku, all that type of stuff. It was just nice to get a more fully developed characters background for these two important characters. Because in the movies, that's one thing that I did hurt that aspect of the storyline, is we're simply presented these people as the parents, and that's it. And we know nothing else about them. Nothing about their motivation, anything, just what their origins were, basically, and that's it. So I think this book does a great job of actually giving those characters some depth and background, and you get a little bit of understanding more of what they were about, and what kind of parents they were and why they left Rey on Jakku. Rey is in the book, but she's kind of so young, she's not really doing a whole lot, so I think they did that purposely. I think they wanted the focus to be more on the parents. So Rey is not really a major character, she's more of a minor character. That storyline really revolves around her parents. And I enjoyed that aspect, but the part of the book I really loved was the storyline involving Luke and Lando. They're together a lot in the book, which is something I really enjoyed, because you don't really get a lot of Luke and Lando interactions. Just in a lot of stuff, maybe where they're in groups and stuff, but just Luke and Lando together, that's not really something you see a whole lot of. And a huge chunk of this book is Luke and Lando interacting with each other, which I really enjoyed. And I think through Lando, you get to see how Luke's friends and family are coming to terms with Luke becoming this Jedi Master, some sort of like mythical figure where, they kind of view themselves as like, hey, we're this same old people. And then Luke is becoming this mystical figure who's trying to cut off attachments, and we're not really sure how to interact with him anymore. We're not sure if he really understands what we are about anymore. So it's kind of interesting to look at this transition from their relationship from like, oh, Luke was this little young kid we met in the rebellion, to now he's this Grand Master Jedi and Force wielder, and we don't really understand his powers, and he's clearly more powerful than us now, and he's kind of cutting off himself from connections to everyone else in a lot of ways, and it's them coming to grips with that, and I kind of really enjoyed that aspect of it. It was a very interesting perspective from Lando that we got to see, like how the other characters in the Star Wars family that we love so much are reacting to how Luke's changing. But I guess enough of the high-end look at the book. The basic plot behind this is, first in the Luke and Lando's side, Lando's daughter has been kidnapped now for several years. She was kidnapped when she was just a couple years old. This is 5 or 6 years later. Lando is just nearly given up hope. He's nearly destroyed him. He's been spending the past several years doing everything to try to find his daughter, and he just, at this point, just thinks it's pointless. But then suddenly he gets a lead that that there's some Sith, there's rumors of Sith kind of kidnapping children. And he was like, well, maybe this is somehow connected to my missing daughter. So he reaches out to Luke, because obviously if you're trying to figure out something with a Sith, who better to reach out than the only Jedi. And so then obviously then Luke is intrigued by this mention of the Sith, which he, at this point doesn't think there are any Sith left, and now he's like, is there something going on? We need to investigate, because he's been having some visions in the Force and some troubling things that have been worrying him, and now he's wondering, like, maybe this is the origins of something that's kind of been disturbing me in my visions, if there is some sort of dark side still out there. And so then Luke and Lando began this journey to try to find out what's behind these missing kids. Is it related to Lando's missing kid, I should say, and they go on this search, and they quickly kind of stumble across Rey's parents. So they don't really ever interact with them very much, just kind of briefly, but they become aware of this couple who are fleeing these bounty hunters because the bounty hunters want to kidnap their kid. And they thought, well, maybe if we can save this family from these bounty hunters, by saving them, we can also find out more about who's behind this kidnapping of children, and then we can help, one, rescue the other kids who've been kidnapped, hopefully rescue Lando's daughter, but also uncover who's behind this, and is it a Sith, what evil group is kidnapping kids. And that's the basic plot. I'm not going to get into a whole lot more detail because obviously I don't want to spoil much of it. Now obviously a lot of things we already know because of The Force Awakens. We know Rey ends up being abandoned on Jakku. We know that Rey's parents die in episode 9, or shown in episode 9. We know what Luke is like when the new movies come along. We kind of know what Lando is like when the new movies come along. But this book does a really good job of kind of being interesting despite the fact you know how the storyline's going to play out. Because a lot of times with prequel books that are set very close to movies, you know exactly what it's going to have to, the ending's going to be, so you kind of lose a lot of the tension. It's not nearly as entertaining. But the way that the author kind of sets the storyline and kind of examining this Lando-Luke relationship, examining who Rey's parents were and what their motivations were, and examining the evil forces who are trying to kidnap Rey and who are trying to kidnap these kids and who are opposing Lando and Luke, is a very fascinating read. I enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting to. So I would say if you enjoyed the new movies, I think you'll really love this book because it'll just add on to it. If you were just so-so on the new movies, this book might help fill in some of the plot points that maybe bothered you, maybe will help you enjoy the new movies more. If you hated the new movies, I'm not sure if you'll really enjoy this book or not. Personally, I was a fan of the new movies. I enjoyed them a lot, so I really enjoyed this book a lot. So I think that's maybe where a lot of people's feelings of this book will come down to, is how they feel about episodes 7 through 9. But anyway, so that is my review of Star Wars Shadow of the Sith by Adam Christopher. If you have yet, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate the support. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Happy reading, and may the Force be with you.